Alright, we're making another video while organizing cards. Just wanted to talk a little bit about impulsivity and your addictive personality will transcend to other things. You just have to be aware of it and try to moderate it. I've always been like 0 to 100 with everything. It's just an addictive personality trait. And even while drinking, like during the pandemic and everything, I got like super into collectibles and collecting and ripping card boxes, retro games, you name it. Going out to thrift stores, searching for goods. It's just a hobby I really enjoy. The past year and a half since I've quit drinking, my caffeine intake has went up drastically, which a lot of you know. I watch the channel. So I'm supplementing caffeine, which to me is better, but I still need to do something about it eventually. I'm not even attempting right now. That can be a rough route, as you all know. But as far as like impulse spending, I've talked about this before. That is ramped up. Like sorcery, 8 booster boxes here, right? That's $1,000 in booster boxes. I'm very happy with it. I ripped a lot of high quality cards, a lot of value. But I mean, you can get unlucky. It is a bit of a gamble, right? But it's a new game. The boxes are already up 20-30% above what I paid, and they're probably going to keep going up. So I'm very happy with it. But like, that's impulsivity. I enjoyed it, and I was just impulse spending. I don't buy on credit. I have liquid cash for everything. I'm not hurting. So like, don't ever buy on debt. That could, compound interest can destroy you. But I have the money, so I'm good to go. But is it a little much? For sure. It's definitely a part of my addictive personality. Counter-Strike skins. I've been trading and purchasing Counter-Strike skins the past month and a half, 2 months. That market's going down, so I probably lost some money, but I have the money to throw in. And it's just, I look back and it's like, wow, look at my transactions, my trades. It's like I just go into it so heavily. I was the same way with crypto in 2021, 2022. And this year I sort of backed away from it a little bit. I was like obsessed with trend analysis. I just go from one thing to the other. Like now that I'm backing away from sorcery, I don't know what it will be. I'm sort of like burning out of the Counter-Strike market a little bit, especially with it going down. I want to see what's going to happen with it. But yeah, between that, sorcery, retro video games, just impulse buying and like wanting to collect, and you get the stuff and then you get this like dopamine high and then it goes away. It's just sort of like alcoholism in a way, except you're sober, but your brain's getting those hits, elsewhere, if you will. And I'm aware of it, and I moderate, and I have the money. Like, I'm not hurting. I'm not rich by any means, but I got the money. But there's people that do this kind of stuff on debt, and they don't have the money. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul and stuff. I don't agree with that. That can be drastic to your life. I've made rough financial decisions in the past, and I've made great financial decisions. It's, you know what I mean? I've lost money. I've made money. I've had some drastic gains, and then I've had some drastic losses in the past. And it's rough. You learn from it, and you get numb to certain things. It's never, to me, I'm never emotionless, like some people talk about with these markets. But I don't think I can just not feel emotion. If there's a loss, I'm going to feel it. If there's a gain, I'm going to feel it. You know what I mean? But another thing's like the gym. Like, I have to work out. Like today, I will do cardio and calisthenics, and then tomorrow I'll do chest tries. And I have my routine to hit my whole body throughout the week. I can't miss it. And out of the past 4 years, I missed a week because I was traveling. I tried to lift briefly, and then I missed because of influenza A and then COVID, and I still did a majority of my workout while sick from COVID. This was like 2 years ago. But I have to do it. It makes me feel good, and I've been doing it so much on a strict routine in the morning before 10, 12-hour shifts in the past. I did it while in the oil field too. I would work 15, get off, sleep a few hours, work out, go back, and I'd be exhausted. Like, I don't recommend that at all. But definitely the gym's another form it takes. It can be in anything, and I'm sure you can relate to that if you are sober. Maybe not. Maybe you don't really have too much of an addictive personality. You just had a struggle with alcoholism. But I feel like that trait is in a lot of people that struggle with alcohol. I feel like it's very common. It's a high potential rate, in people. And it makes sense to me. Because I know a lot of people that don't abuse things, or they're not, like, obsessed with things. They don't really struggle with alcohol, you know what I mean? They just don't have that. It doesn't have that grip on them. They can take it or leave it, and they're wired differently, straight up, and that's just what it is. And I envy them sometimes, but you have to realize it is what it is. Addictive personality traits can definitely benefit you in life if you control them correctly. You don't want to go into debt. You don't want to hurt yourself doing things like over excess at the gym. You don't, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it can definitely work in your favor too, especially OCD. Like, I never forget my keys, my wallet, like weird stuff, like a typical person would forget. But it also, like, it's mentally exhausting too. So there's pros and cons to this stuff. But yeah, I mean, I need to get caffeine under control. My anger's getting better. So that's good. And my impulsivity with collecting, I need to dial that back. I like to go into like a hibernation mode. I like to turtle down, if you will, and not really spend for several months. I do that once in a while, but then I'll just go on benders, man. Sorcery's been the most recent one. I would flip around like vintage Magic, Pokemon, Magic, Flesh and Blood was a big one I'm into. I sort of backed away from that product. Bottoms out again, I'll buy more down the line. But as far as sorcery, if it gets over $200 a box, I'm not touching it. And the singles should reflect that. I mean, the singles are tanking right now because the insane hyped, release week prices are going downwards, and that's to be expected. You can't be spending, $4 or $5 on uncommons and like $20-$30 on a full common, in my opinion. Then the prices will reflect that. I don't expect those prices to hold, but once the boxes continue up and the singles find a baseline, they'll rise again too down the lines, especially years and years. But I love the product, but I Alpha didn't buy a single pack at $30 a pack or $800 a box. Beta, I hammered around $120 a box. And now, obviously, seeing them at like $160, $170, I wish I bought more. And then in 6 months, if they're at $300, $400, I'm gonna wish I bought cases worth. But if they drop back down, like if they print it again and the price comes down to like $110, $100, I will 100% buy a case. That could be 6-12 months down the line. I'll continue buying it. I don't like buying above MSRP release, you know what I mean? I like buying at a discount or release prices. But even then, some like premium, man, I'm going off on a tangent with this. Some premium collection boxes are like 20-30% below MSRP, so you gotta watch, you gotta check online. going to Walmart's not always the best price. If you find an Evolving Skies ETB for $40, $45 and they're worth $90 online, they're worth picking up, right? But yeah, I'm going way off topic with collectibles. But yeah, it takes form. It does transcend into other things, right? And that can be good, it can be bad. You just got to be aware of it. You know, like instruments, great outlet. Gym, great outlet. Moderation and everything, even moderation, right? You can journal. You know, that's something I'd like to do more of. Meditation, something I slack on. I haven't put any effort into it lately. I used to practice it when I was younger, and I never got efficient at it. And I'm still upset about it to this day. I have the time. I'm not gonna lie, I have the time. But it's Lightning Bolt. If you're a Magic the Gathering fan, I don't know why. It's just a common in sorcery, but you know, Lightning Bolt's iconic in Alpha Beta Unlimited. But yeah, that's really about it. For me, it's just been Modern Warfare 3, Counter-Strike 2. Probably going to play more Dark and Darker when the next wipe happens. As far as gaming, I'm getting all this organized today, and then we're going to back away from cards for a little while and see what the market does into next year, and then we'll always order again down the line. But I like to, like this, the singles and everything, it's haywire. There's no, the market hasn't found itself yet, right? So, curious to see what happens with the more sought after cards. Expect them to come down 30-40% and then rise back up, but you never know. No one knows the print run yet, I don't think. So if this is overprinted into oblivion, it could be bad. But I don't think they did that. I know Alpha they didn't. But yeah, anyways, take it easy. Much love.